everybody? Welcome to another edition of ARS45 Podcasts. This is another catch up with your host, founding father, Chris. How you doing? It has been a bit since the last episode, as quite a few things have happened, and we're just gonna try to kind of readjust here as we go about things, because you can't keep up, you can't catch up. So we're going to try to do just that. ARS 45, the show that goes 45 minutes or less or more, talking about all things fun in the world of anime, manga, gaming, and overall geek. So let's get into this. Anime New York, the Anime NYC happened, and like New York Comic Con, another convention that decided to reemerge after so long, given the pandemic, COVID-19 pandemic. Anime NYC returned to a pretty good reception, and to a attendance record of 55,000 approximately, which is slightly above matters, given that the previous year was an online convention, given the circumstances of COVID-19. Prior to that, 2019's attendance was well within the 40,000 category, 46,000 to be exact. So a sound return, had a fair share of guests that emerged. Quite a few companies showed up to represent matters. So all in all, good fare. Of course, there's want to hold on to that note, as things did occur at this con that were very much unexpected. We did get some rollout announcements over at Anime NYC. We did get matters for J-Novel. J-Novel rolled out announcement that they are going to be releasing the Slayers in audiobook form, which is quite exciting. And to top it all off, apparently the narrator of this audiobook format is going to be none other than Lena Inverse herself. Dub actress Lisa Ortiz will be narrating the audiobook. Thought this was a great announcement when I became aware of it. Makes perfect sense. Long overdue. Welcome back to welcome back to the world of Slayers, to Lisa Ortiz. And if anything, the audiobook format is a very popular format, as it's been shown lately. So looking forward to see what happens in that regard. We also got some notes here over the course since Anime NYC, that apparently Sentai Filmworks will be running matters on the HiDive side of things for Lupin the Third, as they are not only running part 6, but apparently they are going to be streaming all of it, or at least a very significant amount of it. Yes, from the first series up, and including, of course, the woman called Fujigamine as well. So you get all the Jacket Lupins. You get your green jacket, get your red, get your pink, get your blue. All of it's there in one place. So kudos to Sentai, and particularly to the HiDive service for being successful in that regard. HiDive is quite a good service in its respect, and still a growing service in that regard. So definitely keep your eyes out for it. Has a very good selection of titles. Get a Robo Irk is also on HiDive. So wink, wink, nudge, nudge. You definitely want to check that out in the queue. And speaking of checking out things, want to make a special note here for the show. Congrats to Denpa LLC for recent achievement that has been noted, and as a lot of these stories have been noted here by not only ANN, but this particular story comes from School Library Journal SLJ.com, as Denpa's own title has the pleasure of being part of the top 10 recommended manga reads for this list. And that's a pretty big deal looking at matters. And the title that represented Denpa on this list is Shino Can't Say Her Name by Shuzo Oshimi. So quite an interesting time we're in looking at matters. And the list itself is definitely intriguing. Definitely recommend going to slj.com to review this list. It kind of represents really the general interests of the fan base these days, I think, or at least a good portion. Of course, there's going to be some things that are not on this list for sure that people are interested in, but it's neither here nor there. In that respect, because everyone's going to love certain popular titles, and we're going to get to one in particular as we get onward with the show. But congratulations to Denpa and leadership in Denpa and Ed Chavez for the most recent success of being part of this very noted list of top 10 manga of 2021 on schoollibraryjournal.com. That being said, one of the other facets to come out of Anime NYC, as brought up at the convention earlier at the start of the show. Fortunately, as much as the announcements and happy faces were very prevalent here at this con, other things were prevalent as well. And we have learned through the likes of CNN and other news groups that broke the news that the Omicron variant of COVID-19, newly spread from South Africa, has it's been making its rounds, and it made a round at this convention. And unfortunately, the person that contracted the virus, because of a very social setting, has pretty much placed a risk to others, has been exposed as a risk to others, and as such, New York took precautions, and apparently there was an order from officials to attendees to get tested. So it's a very, very serious matter. Mind you that Anime NYC certainly did not expect this at all. Prior to this, New York Comic Con returned with over 150,000 guests, and there were no particular sightings of COVID-19, any cases there. Of course, prior to that, Otakon returned to live crowds, and Otakon to its diligence as a convention and to the staff, no one reported any sort of element of illness there. But there's always a risk factor involved. I think, if anything, when it comes to just the current state of affairs, I think everyone's just got to judge their safety on their own accord, their own personal safety, and just be mindful of matters. But it seems like that the person who contracted, Peter McGinnis, I recall that's his name. That's the name of the individual who was interviewed by CNN on this matter. After learning that he got the virus, that he understands seriousness of it, of course, and is acting in accordance with things. It's a difficult time for everyone, especially with just the unpredictable nature of COVID-19. If anything, certainly all of us here at ARS wish everyone the best, in their recovery and their this particular struggle. And we hope that everyone, especially with the winter season, just protect themselves at all times. Just be aware of things. You can't live in fear, but you have to also just be cognizant of certain situations. And with that said, folks, we're actually going to take a short break. When we return, we're going to get into a few other things that have been in the pressure cooker. Don't go anywhere. Hello, everybody. This is the Founding Father, and I'm here to tell you about the ARS 2022 tour schedule, obviously pending COVID-19. So, if anything, be on the lookout for our lovely little group at the following conventions, and of course, pending these conventions schedules and just everything that's going on. So from my knowledge, we will be in attendance for Katsucon 2022, pending matters and regulation. If SakuraCon 2022 is happening, we will certainly be there, as being planned by our leader in the Harvester, Adam. And of course, you can look for us at Otakon 2022. We'll be around. Trust us. And we have another con that we are planning to attend, but you'll have to wait on that announcement. Definitely want to wait on that one. But in the meantime, enjoy the rest of the show and be safe. And I am back. Welcome back, everybody, to the show. So we are here again, and we're going to be talking about a Region 1 company that has been a soldier through it all. Certainly as matters have progressed in the anime industry, particularly in the US, that we've had different companies come and go, and those that have been able to kind of stay around even in changing times. One of those companies that's been able to kind of weather some storms and still be around is Media Blasters. So a lot of people who don't know or just tuning into this podcast for the first time, Media Blasters has been around a long time. Media Blasters at a point was known for bringing out such titles as Rurouni Kenshin, for example, among quite a few others. There's an interesting mix of of titles that have been through their doors. Giant Robo came through their doors once upon a time. I believe there's quite a few things. The King of Braves, Gao Gaigar, among others, among many others. Media Blasters in the 2000s, as things were changing, they kind of downsized a bit due to circumstances beyond their control, and have kind of been just a little bit on the silent mark for a bit, and but still going around, still at conventions, still around, but just not as big or prevalent until recently. And really this past year they've been doing a few reissues of some of my favorite uh, uh, titles, such as the Zerum live action movies, Zerum and Zerum 2, among a few others. And lo and behold, just perusing the internet, and Media Blasters decides, hey, we're saying this, but we're also not saying it, but we're saying Kamen Rider. Those who don't know, Kamen Rider is a legendary tokusatsu series. Pretty much when you think of live action superhero, Kamen Rider comes to mind. That is the first one out of the gate. You know, phenomenal talent in manga form, of course, as we'll see later on. Actually, into January, we'll see that when the manga actually hits. But Kamen Rider, as a tokusatsu series, has endured for many decades, and has inspired a heap generations of people. So the fact that Media Blasters is teasing this title, teasing this license, that they're gonna do something with it, and just not only from their site, from their Twitter feed, but as it's being reported throughout. I am happy for Media Blasters to have this, because it has been a long time since Media Blasters had something quite like this. They kind of was the big, hey, let's crowd around because this is the big thing here. Very excited for them, very happy for them as a Kamen Rider fan myself in the casual sense. Can't wait to experience the original. I've seen just a bit of the original via Pluto TV through the Toko Shoutsu channel, but haven't really, just to be able to have like a collection, to actually have like a Blu-ray set of this, is very exciting. So very good times, very good very good things for Media Blasters, if with everything coming to fruition there. Not so much if, but when, matter of when they roll this out. Looking forward to seeing that, and just for those, the image that was shown rather for this on Twitter, they showed images of it seems to be like Kamen Rider, Kamen Rider Zo, Shin Kamen Rider, and Kamen Rider J. Now, Media Blasters is not exactly new to Kamen Rider, as they released Kamen Rider the First. The prequel film made some time ago. So I think it's intriguing that Media Blasters is kind of doing this, as opposed to like Shout Factory outright. But I want to see what definitely comes of that. definitely see what comes of that. And because live action is like the next step, it seems, as anime, a lot of the holy grails are kind of are acquired or getting acquired. So looking to the live action material is it seems like the next big step there. So good times for media blasters. And of course, and this news broke over the course of the weekend here. And just as matters of planning the show, just going to talk about this on a later show, but and that may be the case given matters. So I'll just touch on it briefly with Toei, the known legendary anime studio, Toei Studios. Of course, everyone knows Toei for Dragon Ball, One Piece, Saint Seiya. There's a who's who there, and apparently, the ban hammer of copyright is the weapon of choice, and Toei's been using that quite a bit on a few content creators on YouTube. Of course, Toei is not new to this behavior, given the history with Team 4-Star and that whole element with Dragon Ball Abridged. But I am going to actually touch on that in another episode, because that element of the quote copyright abuse, free use of content clips, there's a lot there, and I want to be fair and reasonable to that subject. So we will touch on that in the next recording. If anything, definitely put things out there in the comments, or even in our DMs. Of course, you can check out ARS45 via Twitter, as well as you could find our members on Facebook as well. Particularly on the ARS page on Facebook, and just give us a question on that. Just give us a comment on that, and we'll definitely cue it in the show. But another thing that came up over the course of this week is live action Cowboy Bebop was a thing when it came out. Then it died just as quickly. So the live action adaptation of the 1998 classic space western anime, it came out on Netflix to a lot of controversy. This one wasn't immune to it at all. When you're popular, you're not immune to some things. Unfortunately, Hollywood Reporter broke the news of the cancellation of Cowboy Bebop live action, and apparently it's been cited that the tracking just was not the best on this. Not as many eyes on the product, and on top of it, the budget, the budget, just it was too expensive to make, apparently, among other things. And of course, there's such a divide on this live action in different spots of it, in different spectrums of the fandom. A lot of people, of course, are rejoicing in the streets. Yes, this thing should have died long ago. This was a terrible idea from jump. Why would anybody want to do this? And at the same time, from a standpoint with Netflix or any other company, it's a business. They saw it as an opportunity to do something different, but it's also an element that has been pointed out that this thing came out 3 weeks ago, and just as quickly as it came out, it's dead. Now you could say, okay, there's a content glut, there's too much content, and so it just got lost in the shuffle. It wasn't entirely bad, and even as those have pointed out in some circles, hey, I don't hate it, but it's not. I don't hate it, but it's not Cowboy Bebop. So it's an unfortunate deal. Myself personally, I don't hate it. I could tell there were things that, okay, they, the production did this, and this, but they obviously went a different route when it came to other things. And I just knew, just with some of the setup, things were going to get lost in translation, and things were going to get lost in adaptation. Things were going to get lost in adaptation, and I feel like some things were lost. I feel like some of the costumes, just, some of it worked, some of it did not work, some of the changes did not work. It just, believe me, there's going to be a whole thing. I'm sure at some point ARS will talk about this as well in full detail. But this podcaster personally feels that it wasn't meant to be. And ultimately, at the end of the day, it's, fans ultimately determine what they like, what they don't like. There were a lot of fans that did not like this coming in. And so that was already, an uphill battle on that front. And even at the fact it got canceled and people are cheering, that's a worst case scenario, where when you look at something that was adapted by Western studios like Battle Angel Alita, which, actually did very well for itself and is still being talked about to this day, there's some differences there. And I just think there's a lot to take in from that. Some things, just simply put, don't do well for live action. Some things you can do, some things you just can't do. Cowboy Bebop, for all intents and purposes, should have been a layup, but it wasn't. And we see the aftermath of that, and there's a whole slate of just reaction videos of just people just being, glad on that. Of course, in all fairness, the production side of the house did not help matters either. With some of the responses, some of the producers, some of the actors, particularly kind of going out of the way on certain spots, and Netflix just kind of putting out statements in their own right, or even producers rather of Netflix just putting out, hey, this is going to be an expansion of this. Well, it's going to do this, it's going to do that, and the weird advertising. And unfortunately, when you have mixed messages in marketing, it gets to be a particular element, and that's a fierce thing to have. And it's a shame, because there could have been something great here. Unfortunately, just that execution out of the gate, like that's in your PR and everything, but Cowboy Bebop live action, dead on arrival. So that's pretty much one of those other updates that was gonna do like a whole review, but like go to plan for, it get canceled. Wow. Okay, that was fast. But so is the spectrum of entertainment. So quick with the changes. We'll be back as we take a short break, and we'll continue with a little more from ARS 45 Podcast. Hi, folks. Founders Foundry here, and here to tell you about all of our friends over here at Anime Rest Stop who are doing their thing, celebrating with their families, both in their actual families and their online families. So you actually want to see them, definitely give them a chime. Of course, you can find ARS on Facebook, on Twitter. Not hard to find at all, and particularly for some of our members. Of course, you remember Deckard Bain, 83, our tech, who is always fixing things. He breaks them, but he also fixes them, actually in full. Well, he'll break them typically if they're bats, so you have to kind of watch that. But Deckard Bain can be found on Twitch. Definitely check him out. Give him a nod, give him a hi, give him a like and subscribe. And of course, do that for some of our others. Of course, Pirate Zaku still doing his thing. Always solid. Definitely check him out on Twitch as he continues matters with a little game you may have heard of called Final Fantasy XIV. You may have heard of it. Might be around in the spectrum, give or take. Of course, you have Mob Noise. Mob Noise, who's been doing things for a bit. Check her out on Instagram and YouTube for her channel. Very fun channel, definitely. And of course, we've got Kel Cosplay. You may know Kel Cosplay as another member and a friend of our lovely group. Very solid, very tremendous member. Definitely give her give her a thumbs up if you see her on Instagram or TikTok. And for everyone else, we're not hard to find, and in some ways we'll find you. Particularly if we're online on PSN. Myself included, Founders Foundry. Of course, you can find me on PSN, in Twitch, and that's right. And you can find me on the Switch as well. Definitely give me a nod there. Give me a tap on the shoulder. I have to vet you, but we'll see. Meantime, enjoy your holidays, folks. Give us a visit. Enjoy the show. And we are back. So, a few things happened, of course, during the absence. Typically, as I said, Cowboy Bebop live action that came and went quickly, and probably for just there's so much content out there, and it's kind of hard to keep track of things. Sometimes if you go through your streaming queue, you're literally just bombarded with all the things you plan to watch. You have to marathon, and you may be fortunate to do a third of that, because we're getting a lot of content. A lot of it's actually good, including some things that dropped lately. Let's talk about that. So, one show that returned, a show that had been pretty anticipated, coming to the fray, coming back. Was a little shonen series that gave us a lot of memes. And that show is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. JoJo returned with the sixth chapter, Stone Ocean. Stone Ocean occurs after Golden Wind, taking place later on in the canon, and we get the story of one Jolene Kujo, the daughter of none other than Jotaro Kujo. So, Netflix rolled out Stone Ocean as they have the exclusive stream rights to Stone Ocean. And it was through the rollout that we also got we got a few things in the reveal. Apparently, yes, it's here. It's still David Productions, so David Productions did an excellent job animation wise. Even though there's some spots there CG wise that are okay, but 2D wise it is gorgeous. It is so gorgeous. And of course, we got the reveal of the dub of the English dub here. Of course, you have the you have the Japanese audio track and the English audio track here, and of course, typically when you have the English audio track, for those who are on social media, you'll get the calls pretty much once a show starts rolling. Apparently, that's when, like, okay, you can reveal it now. You can tell people, who you are and what you do. And of course, with some of the reveals, I wasn't surprised at the main character who was cast as the main character for Stone Ocean in the English dub. And the person that got that opportunity is Kira Buckland. Kira Buckland is a voice actress who's been around for a bit. She represents a little more of the modern age of voice talent, and very noted for her role as 2B in Nier Automata. And she's not new to JoJo, as she played a role in JoJo before. She was Reimi in Diamond is Unbreakable. So very happy. It's very noted that Kira Buckland is a huge fan of the series, and to now have that opportunity is a dream come true. A lot of dreams have come true lately this year, despite so much that has happened. A lot of things happened. A lot of good things have happened. Prior to this, Jessica Cavello got the opportunity to come back and play Yuri in Dirty Pair, in the Dirty Pair TV, which Dirty Pair TV never had a dub until now. And of course, with her return, her co-star came out of retirement to take up her role as Kay again. And just between that story and of course what happened with Evangelion 3.0 plus 1.0, and frankly the entire element of the rebuild being redubbed, a lot of good stories are happening out of the midst of things. Of course, we can't mention one and not mention the other. Of course, for matters of the Seiyu of Jolene, as Firo's Eye, very unique Seiyu. Just from her performances, I've heard her in How Heavy Are the Dumbbells You Lift, and just the fact she's Jolene in Japanese. That's she's Jolene in Japan in the Japanese audio track, and here's Kira Buckland for the English dub. So very, very, very good times for those that kind of looked at matters and went, wow, I'm a fan of this, or I have like an interest in this, and lo and behold, good things happen. So congratulations to everyone in terms of matters. As for Stone Ocean itself, and I just have like a very brief impression, not doing a review here. It is very good. It is very much worth your time. For everything else, because JoJo's a big series, a lot of people look at that as, oh, I don't know, it's the sixth series of a shonen element. I don't know. Watch the show. It's okay. Like things will mesh up. Trust me, it'll mesh up. If anything, it'll make you wanna go back and watch the other stuff. Trust me on that. And on that note, of course, another series returned, and this one, of course, is the anchor, the big one. That is, you could say, has carried anime to a higher standard. A lot of people feel anime did not get good until this title, given the immense commercial success of this title. And it's a title that I have talked about on the show before, and have talked about on our on the ARS YouTube channel. And that show is Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba Season 2. Season 2 proper is now afoot. It's not just a recap of Mugen Train, which everyone at this point has probably seen this movie, considering the astronomical amount of money this thing has made. So, Demon Slayer Season 2 just started. So, watch that. Make sure to like and subscribe this, then watch that. Definitely want to make sure you like and subscribe. But if you have come to enjoy this series from season 1, looks like, hey, strap in. You're going to have fun watching this as well. On that note, we're going to take another break. Final one. And we're going to call it a show here. So sit tight. We'll be back shortly. It's the most wonderful time to buy anime. So this is the time of the year when certain things that you've been wanting for the longest time are now in your grasp. They're now in arm's reach. Because, oh boy, Right Stuff has got some discounts for you. Check out Right Stuff Anime, as they are doing their annual rollout of holiday discounts. A lot of items on sale, lots of Blu-rays, lots of figures. Definitely want to check that out. Might want to put that on the list. Give us a nod. Tell them we sent you. Enjoy the show, folks. And we are back. So, as much as I have reported on a few things and reviewed some of the more positive aspects of things, sadly, with positivity, with good also comes bad. So this is the part of the show that is unfortunate, but is important because these individuals are important. And we are back. So a lot's happened since the change in schedule with matters and with life, but still trying to keep things moving as is the typical case. And of course, with life, unfortunately, life is unpredictable, and you just don't know what a day will bring. And as the case is here with these individuals who were stars, who did some very, very good work, and who recently left us. Accomplished some good things, but nobody certainly expected these individuals to be gone so soon. Scott Page, Patchter, or known as Scott Page by others, passed away recently. He was a voice actor, producer, well known for ADR, and very known for handling a lot of Saban related things such as Power Rangers. And if anything, as one who watched Power Rangers from the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers to Power Rangers Lost Galaxy, to note that he became a co-producer during Power Rangers in Space is actually interesting. His work would include other properties such as VR Troopers and Masked Rider. Of course, Masked Rider being Kamen Rider. Of course, Big Bad Beetleborgs, which Beetleborgs was part of the Metal Hero stuff that got translated over here. So serving on a lot of fronts in that respect. Also did ADR for quite a few things, such as Tenchi and Daigunder. So very much unexpected. Definitely one who performed his craft and has a long-standing career. Definitely did some things out here. Will undoubtedly be missed by friends, by family, and those he was able to help in his run of things. Of course, gone but not forgotten, and that could certainly be said, immensely so, for Keiko Nobumoto. Keiko Nobumoto just recently passed away. Very touted screenwriter. Pretty much crafting a lot of key scripts for very poignant anime of my generation. And even beyond my generation. Macross Plus, which was Shinichiro Watanabe's directorial debut. If I recall correctly, that was his directorial debut. And she did the script for Macross Plus, which was a great script. And Macross Plus is still one of the very much touted titles to this day. Like when you look at where the Macross series has gone, that's this big standout is Plus. Plus was the one that, would kind of take things a step further beyond the original. And looking at just her other body of work, Tokyo Godfathers, which Tokyo Godfathers is a beautiful film, very much respected. One of Satoshi Kon's best films, in my opinion. And it is a Christmas film in every sense of the word. It is a key Christmas film. Everyone should check it out. Of course, Cowboy Bebop, Wolf's Rain, Samurai Champloo. All of these I remember in key points of my my life. Coming up as a fan, and to Space Dandy. She Keiko did the script for Space Dandy as well. A champion of the scene, all time great screenwriter, Hall of Fame worthy screenwriter, penning the scripts that kind of bridged that difference, especially when you look at Cowboy Bebop, the Cowboy Bebop anime, that that made anime cool to a lot of people and brought, that was like an evolution step. And Keiko, her writing played a huge role in that, in crafting a whole generation. And since then, those have been inspired by her work. She will live on, in that respect. Definitely check out ANN. They have a great write-up on Keiko Nobumoto's career. Just some of the artistic subtleties of her writing, and gone, but certainly not forgotten, and will live on in her work for generations to come. Rest in peace, Keiko Nobumoto. And of course to Scott Page, with respect, to rest in peace as well. And it's very unfortunate, and they both passed away from cancer. Where Scott Page Patrick passed away from cancer. Keiko Nobumoto passed away from esophageal cancer. In the immortal words of I guess a famous person said this, but one of ARS's closest friends have said this, and it's very poignant. And with respect to our viewers out there, some of our more sensitive viewers, it's the only way to describe it. Fuck cancer. Fuck it. Cancer. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, that will conclude this edition of ARS45 podcast. Definitely give us a like, give us a subscription, subscribe to us, talk to us. Not hard to find. And if anything, enjoy your holiday season for everything that's going on. Take in matters, be happy, be healthy, and take care of each other. Take care, folks. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed everything, like and subscribe, and be sure to check out our friends and affiliates. Of course, DeckerBane83 on Twitch, Filthy Casual. You can find him around. I believe he's doing a little thing called 3 Angry Black People. I think that's coming up quite a bit. Tell him I said hi. Of course, Pirate Zaku on Twitch. Mob Noise on Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, Kel Cosplay, Instagram, TikTok, and ARS as a whole, Facebook, Twitter. Give us a like, give us a shout, send some things to us. Fun things.